Hello, my name's Earl Musick. I'm with United Country Real Estate, Musick & Sons out of Grangeville, Idaho, and I also have a brokerage in Orofino, Idaho that's called United Country Steelhead Realty. I've been a broker here in Idaho for almost 20 years, and I am lucky enough to own both of these companies with my wife, who is also a real estate broker, and been doing it actually just a little bit longer than I have. So as a real estate broker, I do an awful lot of different things for my clients. We list an awful lot of property here in North Central Idaho. Not just houses in town, but we do a lot of homes that are country homes on acreage outside of town. And then my personal favorite is just bare ground, whether it be in farm ground, forest ground, anything like that. So one of the best things about working here in North Central Idaho as a real estate broker is just getting to get out on the land that we have here. This is just a fantastically beautiful area here in Idaho, and the fact that I get to go out every single day and walk all over property that I just love to do anyways is really been a true blessing, and I enjoy every minute of it. One of the aspects of real estate that I think I really enjoy is, quite frankly, being a glutton for punishment. I really pride myself on fixing really big problems, and that is something that comes up quite frequently when it comes to real estate. And so when there's an issue, I really pride myself in trying to keep all parties calm, rational, and come up with solutions and work the way through that, and so we can get it solved. So I can have a happy seller that can move on with their lives, and I'm going to have a happy buyer that's going to be excited about their new piece of real estate. And so anytime there's an issue that comes up, even though sometimes it can be extremely frustrating, I really enjoy being able to work through that entire process and make sure that it just gets done correctly so everyone's happy at the end. So just to kind of expand on that, here real recently, in fact, my most recent issue, I was hired to go out and sell a piece of land, and so I went out there, and inside of doing the due diligence on that piece of land, I discovered there was about 5 acres that they thought they owned and they did not own. And so I was able to talk with some neighbors, with some other people, piece it all together, and actually discovered that the 2 adjacent landowners had worked out a deal between the 2 of them, and everything was fine. Except for now, we're wanting to sell it. It's about 50 years after the deal was made, and they never recorded anything. And so I was able to go to the heir on one side, and they were very interested in getting it fixed, and I was taking care of my clients. Of course, they were very interested in getting it fixed. So we were able to hire a surveyor, and at that point, we got the land that was in question legally identified. We were able to go through the legal channels, get it recorded, and the best part is I discovered all this before we had a buyer, and so we got it taken care of, and we got the property closed with no delay. And so we didn't have unhappy sellers. I didn't have an unhappy buyer. And the whole process worked really smooth. And that really does also attest not just to me, but hiring an experienced real estate agent when you're doing any kind of real estate deal, but especially when it comes to bare ground. So that's just one example of why I think it's very important to hire an experienced agent. And if you're buying land, get an experienced land agent and not just an agent who sells houses in a big city that is willing to take you on as a client when you're out looking for land outside of their normal course of business. So I've been in real estate, like I said, almost 20 years. And during that time, I have been the beneficiary of quite a few different sales awards. But some of the ones that I'm most proud of is inside of United Country. If you're not familiar with United Country, it has over 500 offices. It's all over the country. We primarily sell rural land, and I was in the top 10 in the nation one year in sales. I was the top office in the West 2 years in a row. And then I was also given the Genesis Award, which is the one I'm probably the most proud of, and that was the office who did the best marketing for that year. And then just this last year, we won the standout office in the entire nation for United Country. And so that was a real true honor too. Out of those 500 offices, the home office decided we're the ones that stood out to them the most. And so that was pretty cool. So in my spare time, I love being on the river. Here in North Central Idaho, especially in Grangeville where I live, I have the Salmon River that's about 15 minutes away. The Snake River is about an hour, and there's multiple places on the Snake I can be in an hour. The Clearwater River, the South Fork, I can be there in 10 minutes. On the Middle Fork, I can be there in about 45 in different places. And so I spend a lot of time on the river, whether it's whitewater rafting or fishing for salmon and steelhead, which is probably two of the things I love to do the most. The thing that surprises people the most when they meet me is I'm not near as old as they think I am. The other thing I love when I'm out there in the world is little children like to come up and talk to me because they think I'm Santa Claus. Their mothers, though, think I'm a Hell's Angel, and so that's always fun to be out in the world and deal with that. So probably one of the coolest vacations I've ever had actually revolves around winning the Standout Award with United Country. Is they took me and some of the other top brokers and agents out of United Country to the San Juan Islands off the coast of Washington. Really, even though it's pretty close to me, I really didn't understand that those existed and how cool that was. And so my wife and I just got back a few days ago from that trip and was absolutely fantastic. If you ever have a chance to go to the San Juan Islands, you probably ought to take it. It'd probably be surprising to you how awesome it is. So I mentioned earlier that I own and run this brokerage with my wife, Earl Musick. She's also a volunteer EMT here in Grangeville, and so she loves to do real estate, but I think her real passion is helping people in their times of need. And we have 4 kids. One of them is 22, and she lives in Lewiston now. And then we have a 16-year-old boy, we have a 14-year-old daughter, and then another 11-year-old son. And so that is just a little bit about our family. So again, my name is Earl Musick. I am the owner and broker of United Country Musick & Sons and United Country Steelhead Realty out of Grangeville and Orofino, Idaho. And if you have any interest in North Central Idaho, I really would appreciate it if you gave me a call or reached out to me. I would love to help you out. Also, if you would like, check out our YouTube channel. It's Idaho Real Estate. And we have quite a few videos on there. We don't just do real estate videos, we also do lifestyle videos. And of course, my starting to get world famous Bourbon with Your Broker. And so if you'd like to check that out and subscribe to the channel, I would sure appreciate it. Thank you much.